Yeah, so when I be like when I be talking to people, what happened?
Oh no, I'm reading the message. No, I'm reading. I was reading the message. Dang. She was talking about I got my baby was asleep, so she said she just texted me though, talking about she giving them some milk, and then she about to plate the food when you done. But yeah, yeah, like you say, you
Oh,
can
oh,
read.
oh, well, hey, I mean, you
I mean, that's probably I don't know when he gonna stop drinking. It might be 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So we could just, yes, when
yeah,
it be like
okay.
that. But we'll yeah, I'm gonna see. You know what I mean, she gonna let me know.
All right. So when I be talking to people, I always try to inject a little bit of know what you are in it, you know what I'm saying? But so, folks don't really a lot of people don't really believe like what we say. They gotta like find European or Rome like confirmation, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right, right, right.
well, y'all just saying that, like the government or Rome or whatever is supposed to, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like all like everything they
Yeah,
say is true and everything we say is false or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like people need proof, you know what I'm
right,
saying? So I got the divine warning pulled up. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So for the sake of time, let's just go to the fourth paragraph. It says, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it says, you who doubt whether I, the prophet, and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those that know law in the city and among the officials in your government and ask them under an intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply. For they are glad to see me bring you out of darkness into light, right?
Yes,
So he's basically saying, if you don't believe me, then go ask the government. But he don't say it
right,
like that. He says, um, go to those that know law.
right, right, right. Now, you could look at that like too. Just look at the what the statues and some of the stuff what it say, you know what I'm saying? And that right there would tell you uh
Yeah,
that, I mean, like in an intelligent tone, because an intelligent tone could mean that you like humbly, you know what I'm saying, like doing research or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and you seeing based on what they statutes and codes say, it
yeah,
matches,
yeah, yeah.
what
So,
he
yeah. So I was doing things before. I would go down there, but I wasn't asking in an intelligent tone.
right, right,
You
right.
know what I'm
I
saying?
went out,
So,
but
yeah.
at
So,
sometimes too though, like I would get like like some people, there would, kind of like say certain you know what I mean, like certain hints and stuff like that, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like different
yeah, yeah. But
police
yeah, but Pete, this
officers
though,
and
there's a
yeah.
way, there's a certain way you're supposed to ask them stuff.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
So one brother was saying, you know what I'm saying, Rome is more about form than substance. Even though we have the substance, things have to be in a
Yes.
certain form. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
And that kind of remind me of what you were saying about though like procedure. So procedural.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the procedure is to basically request, you know what I'm saying? So the city, they do proclamations, you know what I'm saying? Um, and people, oh, proclamation, that ain't, that's just a proclamation. Anybody can get that. Yeah, but it's a it has whereas clauses, you know what I'm saying? So they have to research that stuff and not like, that stuff is regarded as fact. You know what I'm saying? So, all
Yeah.
right. So Pete, this though, you know what I'm saying? We went over this resolution, right?
Right.
This is this was done by the state legislature.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Those that know law, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Legislature.
right,
So
right.
the legislature is who writes the statutes. You know what I'm saying? And the codes and stuff. So the court, when
Right.
they do law, you know, like Supreme Court and all that stuff, the way they make laws through court decisions.
Hold on. Run that. So you said they make it through court decisions. The legislator,
Yeah,
she said,
they do. Yeah, they do statutes. You know what I'm saying?
statute. Right.
Yeah, the state legislature, when they make laws and stuff, they do statutes.
Mm-hmm.
The courts write the common law through decisions. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like
Like, you
court,
know,
like case
yeah,
law.
like
Case
appeals
law.
courts and stuff.
Right. Like, so that's like annotative, right? Annotative, or interpretive, interpretations of law and stuff like that from the appeal
Yes,
court,
yeah,
Supreme Court,
yeah,
and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so right. So and this is the thing, the courts, when they make laws and stuff, they're interpreting, they're making their interpretations of the Constitution and of the statutes.
Right.
Yeah. But then on the other hand,
When the
the,
legislator,
the legislative branch, they make, you know what I'm saying, they interpret the the common law, you know what I'm saying? So, you know,
okay.
but the point
So,
is that, you know, go to those that know law, you know what I'm saying? So this is a
right,
resolution here by the state government. This is Georgia, resolution 1203. All right.
right,
So it says recognized in January 8th through 15th. This was done back in 1914. 2014, as Moorish
24,
American
yeah.
Holy Week at the state capitol and for other purposes. And it says, whereas the Moorish Americans, whose ancient forefathers are the mothers and fathers of the human family,
Right,
stand in these days as a comity of descendants from the ancient Moabites and Canaanites, who were permitted by the old pharaohs of Kemet to traverse from East Africa and later formed kingdoms extending from the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa and the Atlantic islands onto the present day continental Americas. Right?
right,
Now, that's Noble Drew Ali, chapter 47,
right,
basically. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So the
So,
next, go ahead.
real quick, when they say, or when he says, Noble Drew Ali, permitted by the old pharaohs of Kemet to traverse from East Africa and later formed kingdoms. Who were the pharaohs? Would that just be your mothers and fathers, essentially?
So you can look at the who were the pharaohs of Egypt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, they had like dynasties, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you got Tutankhamun and or Tut, Akhenaten. You have all those, you know what I'm saying, names that you've heard, you know what I'm saying, that we've
Right.
heard. But yeah, who are the pharaohs of you know, Egypt historically?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who were the heads of state, or however you want to say it? Who was running stuff? You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
Yeah.
some would say that the pharaohs were like gods, or you know, or the representation of God on earth for the people, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
and if
Right.
you, you know,
I
even
mean,
in the Bible, you know what I'm
it could
saying?
be
When
wise men.
yeah.
You
So, you
heard me?
know, even in the Bible, you know what I'm
It
saying?
could be wise.
Moses with the Pharaoh, let my people go.
Right.
So,
Yo.
you
Oh, I
say,
thought you.
yeah, I'm
You
here.
sound like you cut it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whereas the Moorish Americans are teaching their people their true nationality and divine creed, that they may become better citizens and know they are not Negroes, colored folk, black people, nor Afros, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865. In this era of time, as all nations are seeking peace, the indigenous Moorish peoples of the Americas are now united to link themselves with the family of nations.
Right.
So, and
Yeah, and I
that's
mean, like, why would they, even if anybody can do it, why would they put it out there? You know what I'm saying? Why would, and not only that, you know what I'm saying, why would they put it out there, but it's almost like it's not even a choice, of them having to
yeah,
putting it out there, you know what I mean?
yeah. It's like it's that time on the planet, you know what I'm saying? Because I think in 2012, Rahm Emanuel did one for Chicago.
Yeah, it
And
pretty much happened throughout that whole little it was several of them. It was probably about 10, you know what I mean, 10, 11, something like that.
yeah, and I know the Moabites who did the one for Atlanta, the city of Atlanta. And
Yeah,
I actually saw the original. I had her make me some copies of the original, right, with the seal and stuff
yeah,
on it. And it says the exact same thing that this resolution says. So the
yeah,
state looked at the resolution that she did. I mean, the state looked at the proclamation she did, you know what I'm saying? And the state did this. The state, you know what I'm saying? The legislature did
right.
this. And I've
So
written
now,
legislation before, and I know how it goes. And you can't be up there. If you lying, then you can like get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So
oh, so you can't be lying. It can't be not true,
right,
basically. Like, oh,
right,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's why the whereas, that's history. This is
yeah,
what happened. Whereas,
right, right.
so
So yeah, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, so I was gonna get into, you know what I'm saying, that chapter 47. I don't know if you can
Right.
see it up on your screen, but this is chapter 47 of the Holy
I
Quran
can
of
see
the
it.
Moorish Holy Temple of Science, or Moorish Science Temple of America.
All right.
So the title of it is Egypt, the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the Dominion of Africa, that means it's somebody's dominion,
Egypt, the capital. Yeah.
right? And Egypt, you know what I'm saying? If you're looking at it, okay, Egypt is just like you could say Atlanta's the capital of Georgia, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Atlanta is a you could say it's a territory place or a municipal corporation, but you know, it's the capital. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's the so Egypt is the capital empire of the Dominion of Africa. So the first sentence says, or key number one, the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So he isn't saying, he's not saying Africans. He's saying the inhabitants of Africa.
Right.
Yeah, so
Right.
he's making the distinction between the land and the people.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Right. Right. Right.
right. So the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? His father Ham and his family were second. So Ham and Cush. So Ham is Cush's father. If you look at Genesis chapter 10, it tells, gives you all of Ham's children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
his father Ham, and we can get into it, is, you know what I'm saying, Cush, Put, Mizraim, you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So, and Canaan. You know what I'm saying? So it gives you, it gives you all that in Genesis, but that's wrong. That's who knows, well, we already know all that, it's been tampered with, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But basically this
Right.
is saying that Cush went into Africa from the land of Canaan. Cush got to Africa before Ham did. Or
Right.
or
Yeah.
Cush
Yeah.
or
Most part.
Cush's family or whatever got there before Ham did. So then
Right.
it says and so then came the word Ethiopia.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So even before Ethiopia, you
Right.
had you had Ham and Cush there
Right.
in Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexem, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing
Mm.
of the land between the Father and the Son.
Uh.
So the dominion of Amexem, you know what I'm saying? It's Ham and Cush's, and that dividing line is called Ethiopia.
Right. 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 That divided. Mm.
Yeah. So
Mm.
the dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. So, you know, brothers came from Asia and the Holy Lands or land of Canaan and all that, you know what I'm saying, to join. It says join them. So they joined Ham and Cush. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
the Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt. And Egypt is the capital of the dominion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Egypt is the capital empire of the dominion of Africa. So Egypt is, it's a capital empire. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
a pharaoh, you could say, is an emperor.
Right. Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
All right. So the Moabites from the land of Moab who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt. And remember, this was acknowledged by the state of Georgia
Right.
to settle and inhabit Northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. You know what I'm saying? So, we can get into, the Amorites and Hittites, another time or whatever. I need to study up on that too. But, the Hittites are
Yeah.
the people of Asia Minor, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, their dominion and inhabitation, talking about the Moabites, you know what I'm saying, from the land of Moab. Their
Right.
dominion and inhabitation extended from northeast and southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the Great Atlantic Ocean.
Right.
So we came over here before the great earthquake which caused the Great Atlantic Ocean.
Right. Mm. I mean, wouldn't those have been? It would have been one land at that time, right?
That's right.
Right.
That's right. And man, I got a book about a Reader's Digest book about the first it says Indians, you know what I'm saying, but it talks about the Indians being the people of children of God or the Israelites or whatever, and said that they may have been here before some old world catastrophe. And it also talked about Indians being, you know what I'm saying, the descendants of the people who were there during the sinking of Atlantis.
Okay. You said you think you got a book about that?
Yeah, I do have one somewhere around here.
Yeah, that I mean that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it ain't no secret really, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know what I'm saying, it's, we're calling a brand right now still.
So you when you said procedural or what was that you said earlier? You said
Form. Form or substance.
yeah, yeah. You said that they not necessarily or they more about form than substance. And I
Yeah,
would say we more substance than necessarily form.
that's right.
And
That's where the
and
disconnect
so
comes.
and if you think about it though, it's like I mean it's the opposite, you know. So um or the polar opposite, you know. And so the reason why uh the European would basically have the power that they do have is because I mean,
Yeah. So you're getting into like like okay, substance versus so there's substantive law and there's procedural law. Yeah.
right.
So
So
yeah,
now
yeah.
I
So
didn't even
yeah,
think about that. I didn't think
yeah.
about that, but procedural would mean that if this is broken, you know, or such and such, if like a contract is broken, then this is what happens, but it ain't necessarily equitable remedy, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
fair, you know what I'm saying, necessarily.
Right. But this is why it's fair though. This is why it's fair.
Right.
So procedure and form makes things easy to read. You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
have to spell it out for them.
Well,
That's
I mean,
all. That's all they asking you to do.
right, right.
Plus,
And I would even, yeah,
no. Plus, I was gonna say that that's more science. That's not like necessarily European. Uh, that's really not of,
yeah. I
of
mean, because
European origin. Yeah, because we've always been orderly. You know what I'm saying? Doing things in order.
so
Thank you, Dave.
that made me think about though, like the supreme mathematics
Ah, yeah,
concept, like knowledge when it's applied, that is dealing with form. So it's like the knowledge is the substance, and the application of that knowledge crystallizes into a certain form.
that's right. That's the form and that's the procedure. How do you apply this knowledge?
Right.
Yes.
And I mean it's all so if you never take it there, you know what I'm saying? Like I, I was just thinking about this earlier, but it's like there's a reward from really seeing things for what they are, or for simply what they are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like for seeing life essentially for what it
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
and yeah, you gotta have that order. I mean, you gotta have that substance in that order. When you got
Right.
both and you can balance them, which is like masculine and feminine. But once you got both to balance them, then it's like I would say that's what people would be what alchemy really would be.
Yeah.
Because you taking something and you turned it into something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah,
man. Yeah. Something as simple as baking a cake. You know what I'm saying? You have
right.
the substance, you have the flour and the eggs and butter, or if you eat vegan, the other whatever ingredients, you know what I'm
But
saying, you use
if
a
you don't put the
substitute.
right portions, then it ain't gonna turn out right.
That's
Got
right.
to be the right amount of application for each thing. Like
Yeah.
that's, I mean, yeah, because I mean, I was just thinking about this though. Like the periodic table,
Yeah.
basically, everything on that has a atomic number.
That's right.
Every element on there. So like, and if we know that everything is made up of atoms, which are 99% empty, and it's really just a concentration of energy, you know, that makes things what they are. But
Yeah.
essentially, like, everything is made up of atoms, so it's a concentration of how, you know, how the atoms are formed that would determine what a thing is.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah. Just like, yeah, mixing, just like
yeah,
mixing chemicals and compounds, you know what I'm saying? And alchemy, like you say, yeah, there's an
right,
order to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you put the wrong stuff in and you don't follow directions, you can blow something up. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
and that's just law,
Yeah,
man. That's
so,
just laws. That's karma. You know what I'm saying? So naturally, that would translate into, you know, this realm and even on paper. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, if you don't put things, yeah, it's order,
That's
man.
exactly what it is.
Yeah,
It's this realm on paper, yeah, and that's what they've been able, you know what I mean, the written shit is really what they've been able to the European, I'm saying, been using that we ain't, you know, had, you know, or really understood what it, you know, how to operate it.
right.
But I would even say too that, like, cause I remember in the beginning I was like thinking I needed to do these different things, you know what I'm saying, to get free or whatever, you know. And now I see it's more so like doing that and then just like the mindset, you know, versus like thinking I gotta do all this different stuff on paper. It's uh essentially, you know,
Yeah,
saying what it is and then just letting it be that, you know.
that's right.
And so, but yeah, so like I would say that it's important for, you know, us to know that, because a lot of people, most people don't know that we basically are indigenous to the planet, you know. So it's like this information is critical, because it's like if you don't know that, then like how you even know where you standing at, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right. And
How do you
even,
know your stuff?
yeah, yeah. And this should, and this should even govern, it should govern every part of your life. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Even, and I was, you know, I was sharing this with one of my brothers the other night. Even when you go into like a boardroom, you know what I'm saying,
right,
or even if you're on your job, the knowledge of who you are, knowledge of self, man, it can take you places because, you know, it gives you power. You know what I'm saying? People, you know, people will treat you like, oh well, I better not like disrespect my, you know, this cat here, this, you know, because with that knowledge, you become the ancestors, man, when you know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
right. And I mean, if you, yeah, and if you, yeah, with that knowledge, yeah, you do. Wow. I mean, because it's energy, you know, that comes around you, that comes, you know,
That's
that
right.
that 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 you begin to harness.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just, it works for you, you know. And that's interesting, because you know the definition of placebo is it works, and then
Mm.
the opposite of that is nocebo, which means it doesn't work.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
when you thinking about doing things in order and having form and substance, you you basically got to look at it like, man, I kind of, I forgot why I started saying that.
Yeah. But you know, I would just link it to that supreme mathematics, like you say. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that order, like, I mean, I was thinking about like alchemy though, you know, like how I mean, they say like you taking this basic metal, lead, and you trying to
Right.
turn it to gold. I was thinking about it like it's, I mean, you're not really, you can, well, you can see everything around you, you know what I mean? It's basically alchemy,
Yeah.
because yeah, I mean, that's just, yeah, that's what I,
It is everything. Yeah, it is. Shoot,
But yeah, like you were saying though, that's what it was. You were saying something about being in the boardrooms and like in knowledge how it takes you places. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like
yeah,
if you think about it, the people that supposedly have power, you know what I mean? They just some of the people. Like I'm talking about, like the Europeans.
yeah.
They some of the people who just basically take the initiative. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. Yep.
You know, and people respect them. You know, for that. You know, and I mean, it's like when we do it though, like I mean on that level though, where it's really not even like for the public, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like you know what I'm saying, because that's like that world, you know what I'm saying? It is just form. It's about the glamour, you know,
Yeah.
the light, you know what I'm saying? Just like, yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah. Even with no substance, you know what I'm saying? They can run stuff
right.
just off form and procedure and not have any substance behind it.
Ooh,
You
wow.
know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
And and our people just kind of sitting back like this is wrong, that's wrong. But we have no knowledge of
It's just the
self.
wrong fight.
Right, the
Yeah,
wrong
it's the wrong
fight.
fight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of us who are lawyers and all that, who know something about a little bit about order and form, don't have any knowledge of self. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got weapons, but you don't have all the ammunition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I
when
mean,
you
because
have
if you think about it though, well, yeah, go ahead.
no, yeah. If you have all the weapons and you have all the ammunition, I mean, nobody can really stop you. You know what I'm saying? And
Right,
then
right,
it's
right.
like, man, I'll get on that. We still on. We gonna stay on this, so I ain't gonna get off on nothing else.
I mean, I was just gonna say, like, you know, it's really about attraction, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, it might sound like a lot to say, you know what I mean? But like, if you would, based on what you attracting, you know, I mean, that's how it's done, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
so, I mean, that yeah, it's inward, you know what I'm saying? Or it's something that you gotta, you know, privately, you know what I mean, deal with first, you know what I mean? And, I mean, it's like, yeah, who are you though, you know, like,
yeah, yeah.
and then once you know who you are, you know your abilities,
You know
know
your
what you're
ability.
capable
Yeah,
of.
yeah. Then you can make decisions based on principle more. Like higher principles
Principle,
too.
right, right. And the first principle, you know what I mean, one of the, I mean, all is mine.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. And
that's what you base it on first.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then
Which
you
is just
got
saying energy.
yeah. Then you got those hermetic principles. You got the five highest principles, which are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
Right.
mean,
Now yeah. That's like it's like really more concentrated on like what you attract based on those certain principles,
right.
because like or sub principles, you could say, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
levels to within
It
everything.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, right. Um, all right. So we had key number 8. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. Also, the Niger River was dredged by the great pharaoh of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extends eastward from the river Nile westward across the great Atlantic.
Mm.
It was used for trade and transportation. So it says in those days. So, to me, I'm looking at this and if you look at 7 and 8 together, it's talking about before the great earthquake. And it says, talks about the river Nile being dredged and Niger extending eastward from the Nile westward across the great Atlantic, used for trade and transportation. You know what I'm saying? So, I look at it like, they were traveling from Egypt all the way over here. You know what I'm saying? By river that was
Right.
dredged. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
saying? So, and number 9, guess we can stop at number 9, 10, or 11 or whatever. According to all true and divine records of the human race, there is no Negro, Black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the Holy Land of Canaan. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today, without doubt or contradiction. There's no one who was able to change man from the descendant nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. So this is what that resolution says. You're not Negro, Black, and colored. There is no Negro, Black, and colored attached to the human family.
Right. I mean, it's giving you history right there. The history right there.
And in order for us to get linked back with the family of nations, you know what I'm saying, you have to be who your ancient foremothers and forefathers were.
Right. Now, what was you saying? You said something about wow. Yeah, the knowing their names and some along those lines. You said.
Whose names?
I think I forgot what it was, but I think you were saying like calling on. I can't. I don't recall right now.
Oh yeah, I think I was just gonna say. I don't know if this is what you're referring to, but like when you know who you are, the names you call, like when you saying your palils and prayers, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like Jesus, that is a modern name, relatively speaking.
It don't have much substance either, like in the name.
Right. Yeah, like I mean, you can go farther by calling the ancient name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what you were saying though too is that energy is there with you once you know who you are. I think some.
Like the ancestors, man. Yeah, the ancestors. You become like the ancestors, man, when you have knowledge. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That energy is with you.
Just listening. Yeah, I was just listening to somebody was saying like basically the DNA, like all of your ancestors are literally in your DNA.
Right.
So they are with you. But if you don't know that, you know what I mean, then you just
you can't tap into that what you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, and you can have somebody come to your house and try to do something. You can have a bazooka in your attic. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know it's there, you can't.
Right.
Use it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean that's critical to know.
Very critical.
That's critical.
Man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like that knowledge of self is really a tool. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's a navigation tool. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And this is the thing, man. Look, it's like this. What if, you know what I'm saying, we all as a people, start rocking turbans, fezzes, you know what I'm saying, royal garb, whatever, right? And when when we interact with people, even in business. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking the pharaohs of Egypt gave me permission to be here. You know what I'm saying? And I was here first. You know what I'm saying? And I know about the River Nile. I know about all this stuff. I know I was here before the Atlantic Ocean split. You know what I'm saying? Or before the land split and caused the Atlantic Ocean. It's like
Right.
I know how old I am. I know how far I go back. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
know
Right.
my
Right.
DNA.
Right.
My DNA has I have people across the waters in my DNA. I have people on this land in my DNA. You know what I'm saying? And I can tap into that stuff, man, with knowledge if I have knowledge.
Right.
So, you know.
Right. 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 It's like you're saying, like, you know, your status or your position as it pertains to, others,
Exactly. Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like I know so for instance, so such and such might be running the government, right?
Right.
But I know that I can enforce certain things because my ancestors had treaties. You know what I'm saying? My ancestors had treaties which are still in effect with other nations and with the states. My
Right.
ancestors were the first to recognize the states as a sovereign nation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they have to recognize us. They had to put those proclamations out. How can you?
Yeah.
Because look, if they didn't, if they did not, then no one would recognize them.
Right.
No other nation
And
would. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The the the
So
the, the, the so-called black people are the same people who you know who vouch for the United States.
right.
You know what I'm saying? We vouched for them in the beginning, and that gave them credibility, you know what I'm saying, with the rest of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Right. Right.
and it's the longest running treaty. The Treaty of 1783 isn't even valid no more. You know what I'm saying? So they'll say some clauses of the treaty are still valid, but it's a contract. So you can't enforce one portion but then not enforce the rest of the contract. You know what I'm saying? So does the United States have a treaty with England or whoever or not? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So I'm just getting off on a tangent, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And so, like, what would be the because you were saying, like, if we all started wearing turbans, and dressing in garbs, you was about to say something.
Mm,
Because you said we got treaties with them, and
yeah, man. They, anything that was owed to us, man, they would have to, they'd have to pay up. You know what I'm saying? So, and then again, it's form and substance, right? So,
right, right.
uh, think about it like this. And where is it at? It went away.
So what, like, okay, yeah, you about to pull up something.
Yeah, I was gonna say, think about it like this. Any reparations check, who is it gonna be made out to? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's not gonna be made out to any black people or African
Black
Americans.
people, to check the black people.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Any check, you know what I'm saying? So they pay reparations to nations, man. You know what I'm saying? And the nation
I
that is
mean, like,
recognized.
honestly, okay. So, like, I would say it like this: like, you could look at it like black people was a label created by uh European
That's
slave
right.
holders.
That's right.
So you could look at it like Moorish American is simply like the vehicle on which that those people would be paid.
It is. Yeah.
And so, but that's something that's created for it's like a trust that was created for your benefit versus something that was created to take away from you. You know what I mean? Like
That's
the black
right.
label, your status, your credit ain't shit, with the black label. But
Yes.
as
Yeah.
like a Moorish American or indigenous, you know what I'm saying? Like more like then I mean you are the creditor,
You're the
because you are the
creditor.
creator of that. Yeah.
You are the creditor. That's the thing, man.
And so that's when your
That's you know
ancestors.
what? That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm
Yeah.
getting at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But so
saying?
I would say this too though. So it's like you was about to say something about reparations, I think. I was gonna say too, like, I mean, do you think that we personally would need to get any type of check straight from, from them? I mean, or could we, I mean, yeah, what do you think?
I think everybody needs to set up a trust.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, no, because this is what I would say though. This is what I would say. I would say we already got base. I mean, cause like how you saying a trust, like really, I like energy is what you know creates that. You know what I'm saying? Create. So like it's really just that knowledge of self. Once you get that knowledge of self, then like basically it's like you giving notice to them of that, and therefore they can't meddle in your business no more. That's why you need a trust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why you
Yeah.
need, because
Yeah.
before they've been able to control, you know, your property and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like once you know yourself, you able to control your own thing. So you put it in trust and you got the laws for that and how that's gonna operate. And
Yeah.
that's what it is.
And it's also important how you name your trust. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
I mean, it has to link, you know, it has to link you
Yeah,
to something. You know what I'm saying? It can't just be
right, right,
the Johnson Trust, it has to
right.
link you to something. You know what
Right,
I'm
right,
saying?
right. Yeah.
You know, Johnson Bay Trust. I don't know, man. Moorish, uh,
Yeah.
Moab, Canaan, Kemet. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying, though.
No, but like how you said though, yeah, like I mean, basically it connects you back
Yeah,
to the source, you know what I
right.
mean? And
Yeah,
that
Atlantis,
that is yeah.
Lemuria Trust,
So
Atlantis Trust,
right,
man.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, all right. She's text me, man. She say come eat. So I could
Hey, yeah,
yeah.
we can circle back on this one.
All right, for sure, for sure.
All right, 13 Love.
All right, 13 love.